Welcome to Teen Talk.
Welcome to Teen Talk.
Presented by Prominent Youth of America.
Beep, beep. Yep.
Welcome back to Teen Talk News. I'm Cameron.
I'm CJ. I'm Brendan.
And today we're joined by a true champion for young people across Greater Louisville, TJ Delahanty. Senior Manager of Youth Success at Metro United Way, TJ leads the Youth Success Network, a network of 200 organizations serving youth ages 6 to 24.
Wowzers.
And helps oversee the Youth Social Action Projects, which puts real resources and real power into the hands of young people to tackle the issues they care about most. From food justice to mental health to voting, TJ believes young people are powerful agents of change in their communities and has spent a career building the systems that help them lead. Please join us in welcoming a dedicated advocate for youth voice and youth power, TJ Delahanty.
That was really good. I don't know who wrote that, but they did a fantastic job of making me look good. Appreciate it.
For viewers meeting you for the first time, who is TJ Delahanty and what inspired and what led you to a career focused on your development, on youth development?
Who is TJ Delahanty? Important things to know about me. Born and raised in Louisville, Kentucky. In the South End, Iroquois Park area is where I spent my youth growing up, right next to Iroquois Park. So, like, that park is, like, part of my DNA. In a lot of reason I do what I do is the family I grew up in, right? My father was a civil rights lawyer. He defended the Black Six, which is a group of 6 African-American men who were accused of creating a race riot in 1969. He was one of the attorneys that defended them, and they got them off, right? They were found innocent. My mother was a social worker, is a social worker. My mother is still alive. She's 96 years old. I spend every Saturday with my 96-year-old mother. I take her out to breakfast, and then we go shopping. And then, I kind of, in all honesty, I fell into youth work. I was a volunteer soccer coach. I worked at Our Lady of Peace Hospital on the youth wing there. And then I joined the Peace Corps. And the Peace Corps assigned me as a youth worker. So I went to a little country in Central America called Belize, where I worked with young people there. We created the Belize Youth Conservation Corps back in the late 80s, early 90s. And ever since then, I can't get away from working with organizations that work with young people. I started working at Metro United Way in Louisville in 2012, so I've been there for almost 14 years now. We really work to support organizations that work with young people. Our mission is to try to bridge the opportunity gap and create more opportunities for young people, especially older young people. We feel that there's not enough opportunities for older young people to get involved and to get connected and engaged in making our community a better place for them and for other young people to live. That's important because, if we are to deal with the issues in our community that are important, young people need to be a part of that, right?
Yeah.
So, does that work?
Yeah.
All right.
As Senior Manager of Youth Success at Metro United Way, what does your day-to-day work with young people across Louisville actually look like?
That's a great question. And it changes from day to day, and week to week. But it's interesting because I spend a lot of my time in an office in front of a computer, sending out emails, in meetings. One of my favorite things to do is to go out and visit youth programs and meet the young people that are involved in them. I can't tell you how much fun I had last year. I was a part of, I believe, this podcast, or the precursor to this podcast. That was like the most fun I had all last year, was like being a part of that podcast, right? Because I got to meet the young people that were doing the podcast. We had a lot of fun answering questions and looking at, like, so, on the surface, the people watching this video, the four of us look different, but we all have things in common. And that was the funnest part about that podcast, was like, finding out all the cool things that we had in common.
I can highly respect that, honestly.
Sweet.
Metro United Way's Youth Success Network supports over 200 organizations serving youth ages 6 to 24. Why is it so important to connect youth serving organizations rather than have them work alone?
That's part of our mission, is creating opportunities for the adults who work with young people to not feel like they're working in isolation and that they're working alone, and to look at the things that they are doing and how to connect what they do to what other folks are doing. Because on a day-to-day basis, sometimes it can get frustrating. You have a bad day, right? And you feel like you're in it all alone. But the reality is, I mean, in Louisville, right, there are over 200 organizations whose main focus is working with young people. So you're not alone. You're part of something that's bigger than you. And I think that's important for young people to know that. And I also feel it's important for the staff and organizations to know that, and for organizations themselves to know that they're part of something bigger, and that their impact is amplified by the people around them that are doing similar things, right? So.
Tell us about the Youth Social Action Projects. What inspired this program, and what has surprised you most about what young people choose to tackle?
That's cool. This will be this will be the fourth time that we've offered the Youth Social Action Project grants, right? And it's really seed money for organizations to engage older youth in projects that help make our community better, right? And we got into it originally in partnership with the University of Louisville Center for Social Justice Youth Development Research. And the best ideas aren't always one person's idea. It's the synergy that comes together when people that are working on the same types of stuff start brainstorming and talking about what could they do to make what they do better. So it was truly a partnership. It was truly a group idea. And what surprised me, here's something. Nothing that young people can do or really do ever surprises me, because I think that young people are capable of things that a lot of people think are impossible, right? So it is what makes my heart warm is all the things that they are doing. A lot of young people are doing projects that focus on mental health. I think young people supporting each other through things that are difficult is that just warms my heart, right? Young people advocating, and that's the cool thing, because many of our youth social action projects are young people advocating on behalf of others, right? And I think that's important, right? So nothing has surprised me yet, but much of it has, just made me very excited, very happy about the kind of issues that young people want to tackle and can tackle, right? So that's important.
Young people in these projects have taken on issues like food justice, mental health, and voting. Why do you think it matters Why do you think it matters to let the youth pick the causes of themselves instead of adults deciding for them?
Well, first of all, I think it is important that young people lead and have the opportunities to lead, and that we as adults are beside them, supporting them, and helping them, but not leading the way. I firmly believe there's not enough opportunities, and especially for young people who face adversity in their lives, to be a part of the solution. There's not enough opportunities for young people to be engaged and to make a difference, right? And if you don't have opportunities to experience things, if you don't have those opportunities, right, it is you check out, right, and you check into what you do have. We all need more opportunities in our lives to experience things that are different than what we would experience on our own, right? I think that's the important part. That exposure, the chances to learn things outside of, a school building, the chances to, because, there are a set of skills, right, that help us to be successful in life. But many of those skills, you're not born with, and they're not taught in school, right? Planning, goal setting, making decisions. You have to practice that, and you have to have a support so when something goes wrong, that you're not out on a limb by yourself, that you got somebody there with a ladder to help you down when something happens, right? Too many times when something bad happens, it closes a door. Well, when you do something and it's a mistake, the door shouldn't shut. The door should help. The door to support should open up, right? Because too many times you get kicked out, or you get asked to leave, or you get pushed out. What you need to happen when you make a mistake is somebody walks you through that mistake and says, okay, what went wrong? And what can you do next time, right? That's my big thing. Is a lot of times when you make a mistake, people slam the door on you instead of help you go through and learn from that mistake. All right, that was a long answer.
Well, what role does an organization like Metro United Way play in helping a program like Prominent Youth of America expand its impact in the community? Especially if we're using Prominent Youth of America as an example, right? A lot of times it's just listening. I may get a call from the executive director, founder of Prominent Youth of America, who ran into a problem, and I just listen and provide support and maybe provide some advice, or maybe ask the question of, what do you think? To me, that's one thing. Two, we also try to connect people, right? And when somebody has a question or a problem or something that they need, if we try to connect them to the supports. We do a lot of different things. We do professional development. We do a newsletter. We connect people to kind of data systems that help them
measure their impact. But a lot of times it is just listening and trying to provide support.
For a teenager who doesn't feel like they have a voice for what happens in their neighborhood, what advice would you give them about creating change?
What advice would I? One, connect, right? And it's easy for me to say that, but part of the issue is, there in Louisville, Kentucky, there's over 200 organizations that serve young people, right? Part of the issue we have with teenagers and with moms and with other organizations is just that, how do I connect to them? How do I find them, right? You guys are fortunate you've connected with Prominent Youth of America. So one is connect and seek out opportunities. Don't, 2 or 3 is like, what's the Ruth, you guys ever heard of Ruth Bader Ginsburg? She was a famous Supreme Court justice, and her line was like, persist, right?
I believe so. I believe I've heard of her.
Yeah. Don't give up. Don't give up.
I feel like I heard that name like once or twice.
Yeah. Her thing was persist, right? And my thing is don't persist. Don't give up. Don't check out, because it's so easy in this world that we can check out into our Xbox. We could check out into our phone. So the third thing would be look up, right? Get your head out of the phone. It's so easy to get lost in the access we have to electronic media. I mean, do you guys got phones?
Yep.
Not anymore.
I don't think I want to ask about that. Not anymore. Because that means you used to, so something happened.
It blew up in my hand.
Blew up in your...
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Before we go to our next question, how did it blow in your hand?
It was on the charger and it just popped.
You've seen those videos, right? Where like the phone just like...
Yeah, but it wasn't big. It just went pop.
Okay.
It wasn't enough to damage my hand.
It didn't start shooting out flames and stuff?
It did a little bit. I just had to smother it.
So it just popped out of nowhere.
Yeah. I still got a hand though, so I'm okay.
Spontaneous combustion, man. It's possible.
Yeah.
That's... Wow.
All right. So I got through that question, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Connect. Don't give up.
Next, don't give up and
And then get your head out of the
yeah.
the electronic world. All right.
You said young people are powerful agents of change. What have you personally learned from working alongside youth-led initiatives?
Dadgum. So much stuff, honestly. And here's my thing is like, in adults, honestly, are part of the problem. And sometimes, we aren't open to learning from young people, right? And honestly, if I've learned one thing is that to stay open, because you can learn from anybody, and especially from young people. So listen, right? That's important. And I firmly believe that every young person, like so many people, so many systems, so many things give up on a young person, right? Don't give up on young people or any young person. Every young person is fully 100% capable of practically anything if you give them a chance. And a lot of times we just doubt that a young person can do it, right? And so don't doubt. I'm going to stop there because that was pretty good. I like that answer.
Beautiful answer.
That was a good answer, honestly. Probably one of my favorites. What are the biggest challenges facing young people in Louisville today, and how is Metro United Way working to address them?
I'm going to what is it? beat the same drum over and over. It's like, part of the main challenges are A, adults, B, systems, like school, police, the city. Those are, I'm not going to say guns, drugs, or social media. I'm going to say it's the adult in young people's lives, it's the systems in young people's lives that are the biggest challenges. In the role of Metro United Way is convincing these systems to give young people the opportunity, the chance to succeed. And that's all young people, because part of the issue is there are young people in our community that these systems get in the way with more than others, right? And it just so happens that many of the problems are the systems are geared for people of color and people who are facing poverty to fail. And we got to create kind of, it's really hard to change those systems, but if we can create kind of side opportunities and side systems that give young people those opportunities, then that's what we got to do. And hopefully part of what Metro United Way is doing is supporting youth-serving organizations to be those side systems, those side opportunities that help young people succeed, right?
Teen Talk News is all about empowering young voices. What message would you like for every teenager watching this interview to remember about their own power to create change?
You can do it. I mean, that's, to me, is like, part of what I've been saying is that young people can do it. And if I'm talking to a specific young people, it's like, you can do it, man. You can do it. And there are paths, there are opportunities that you got to help. We got to help you, and you got to help to take advantage of that help you, that demonstrate, give you opportunities to do it. So you can do it.
Special thanks to our guest, TJ Delahanty. We're all come back next week and see our next episode on Teen Talk News.
Au revoir.
See you
Later.
And remember, don't give up.
And persevere your status quo.
Keep trying. You'll get there. Ciao.
You can do it. See, I want to go into like Waterboy.
Special thanks to our guests for stopping by today. And thank you all so much for watching.